Eats and eats and eats and trees.
Hello and welcome to the Joy Holiday Channel. I'm Chef Marissa, and today on Eats and Treats we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day, a global celebration of Ireland, Irish culture and its contributions. Today our holiday menu is going to showcase a recent contribution to the food world as well as some ancient food traditions. We all love some corned beef and cabbage or a scrumptious Reuben sandwich on St. Paddy's Day. But the origins of this celebration meal is not traditionally from Ireland. We can thank our Irish American immigrants for the use of corned beef as a substitute for their more preferred yet more expensive bacon. For the corned beef, you can purchase it in the local grocery store where it's already prepared, where you're just reheating it, or you can go ahead and buy a brisket and you can choose your own spices or seasonings that you prefer. And then you can cook it low and slow, braising in the oven, or I prefer to cook it in the Instant Pot where it cuts the cooking time down by half and it comes out with a nice tender piece of meat. So we're gonna go ahead and prepare our Reubens, and I'm gonna show you my special way of preparing a Reuben. For our Reubens today, I have toasted our rye bread, and we have here our gluten-free Irish soda bread with bacon and Dubliner cheese. Delicious, a great option for those gluten-free friends of yours or anyone that has any gluten intolerances. So I'm gonna take our toasted rye bread, and here we have a delicious Thousand Island dressing that we've pre-made. You can find the recipe on Eats and Treats. So we will spread our sauce on our toasted bread, and I also have set aside our tops here, which we will add after we have melted our cheese on top of our fillings. So here we have our sauce that we're gonna add to each of our pieces of toasted rye. So the biggest difference between corned beef and pastrami is that pastrami is smoked after curing and corned beef isn't. Pastrami is usually cured with a dry rub and corned beef with a brine. So now after we have our sauce on each of our bases for our Reubens, we will go ahead and layer up our sandwich. So we will start with our pastrami. Now I like to fold our pastrami. It gives it some nice height for our sandwich and it just looks really nice. So now that we are gonna put our final pastrami on our sandwiches here, our next ingredient is going to be our sauerkraut. And also we have made some slaw here. So for those that don't prefer the sauerkraut, we have done a green and red cabbage with some grated Granny Smith apples and tossed it with a apple cider vinaigrette, which you can find this recipe at Joy Eats and Treats. Now I love Reubens with the pastrami, but you can also make a Reuben with corned beef. I've also seen it done with turkey. So it's really your preference, whatever you may have in your fridge this week. So it's very versatile. All right. So now we are going to add our Swiss cheese here. And we are going to toast these in the oven at 350 degrees until our cheese is nice and melted. I would say between 5 and 8 minutes. And then I'll show you what to do after they're finished being toasted. So for our gluten-free option, I'm gonna go ahead and make these with our corned beef. So I'm just gonna kind of shred this corned beef because they're gonna be little sliders. And it gives you some nice variety for your menu. You can repurpose your corned beef, which I always love doing, finding many purposes for one item, so that way it cuts down the cooking time in the kitchen. All right, those are looking great. And let's go ahead, I'm gonna use our slaw for these ones. So that way, in case anybody doesn't like sauerkraut, they have another option. And for the slaw, you can go ahead and you can make that ahead of time. Kind of just allow that to sit in the fridge with the dressing. That way it has some time to marinate, and the cabbage can soften up a little bit. Still has that nice crunch to it. All right, so we're just gonna top these with our Swiss cheese and pop these in the oven, and we'll see you right after. Now that we have our cheese melted and our Reubens are nice and toasty, I'm going to add to our top layer of our bread some more sauce, because I feel like you can never have enough sauce. It just is complementing to the sandwich. So we'll top our top, we'll place that. We'll also do for our little mini sliders, our gluten-free sliders. Aren't those just adorable? I think your guests are gonna love those. Now, what I love about this menu is that it's a bit sophisticated for St. Patty's Day. So you could have a lovely dinner party with your guests and really just bring some fancy and some class to your St. Patty's Day extravaganza. We have our finished Reubens here. So I'm gonna go ahead and platter those up, getting ready for our guests to arrive. Now these are definitely sure to leave everyone satisfied by the end of the evening. Now I always love to taste my final creation before serving it to my guests. That way, in case anything needs to be tweaked or any spices need to be added, I can adjust. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. Absolutely divine. I hope that you are able to recreate these amazing creations, and please leave your comments at the bottom of the page. I'm Chef Marissa here on the Joy Holiday channel for Eats and Treats. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also turn on notifications so you can get all of our upcoming videos. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, Joy Eats Channel, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I hope that you enjoy making these recipes as much as I did, and I look forward to seeing your comments. We'll see you next time.